Well, my name's Jeanette. A little over 11 years ago, my life was a mess. I was addicted to drugs and alcohol, and I lived on the streets. I was completely homeless. And I had been doing that for several years. I had gone in and out of jail many times, and I had been arrested in 1 month 3 times. You know, my life was pretty bad, and I had no faith. I had no hope. I kind of believed from when I was raised that God was there to punish me, and He was there just to tell me when I did things wrong. I didn't know that He was there to really be enlightening and help you and take the burdens off you and, you know, clean you and all of that. So, you know, I just thought, you know, everything that was happening to me was basically because God was punishing me. And, you know, so I had gone in and out of jail for a couple years. You know, every couple months I was in for a couple months, and I'd get out, and I was in and I was out. And this chaplain was a friend of my mom's, and so she had talked to my mom, and my mom's like, hey, go see my daughter. She's, you know, in this pod or term, you know, in this place, you know, go see her. And so she'd come to see me. And she came into my cell, and she sat down with me. And she goes, I brought you a book. And I'm like, great, you know, something to read, because in jail there's nothing to do. And it was the New Testament. She's like, now I want you to take this and really read it. And I was thinking, okay, well, I'll read just about anything right now because I have nothing else. But she sat down and she started sharing with me about Jesus and how Jesus takes people and He changes people. And that just because I had lived a life of a sinner didn't mean I had to continue living the life as a sinner. And that I would never have to be in that kind of pain. I would never have to live in fear. I would never have to be hungry. I would never have to be tired or cold or any of the things that I've ever experienced. And she just sat there and explained it to me. And for the first time, I heard somebody. I really heard the words that she was telling me. And I felt something inside of me. And I still to this day don't know what it was, but I could feel something. And, you know, after all the drinking and drugs and everything, I hadn't felt something in a long time. She goes, do you mind if I pray with you? And I said, no, absolutely, please. You know, so I became willing. I surrendered at that moment, and I also became willing at the same time. And so she prayed for me, and, you know, she goes, I have to go. I have to see the other women. And she left. And when she left, she told me, she says, you know, there is a drug program you can go through. It's a 12-step program. It's based on spiritual principles, which is what I just shared with you. If you want it, you can get it. It's down the hall. And all I said was, okay, Jesus, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to live. But if you can save me from where I'm at, please take me out of this wall, out of these walls. And about an hour later, I started singing Amazing Grace. And I just sang at the top of my lungs. I was singing as loud as I could, and it just felt so comforting to me, and so like I was no longer afraid. All my life and all these years I lived, I was totally in fear. All my actions, everything I did, my life was completely full of fear. But if God can save a wretch like me, then great. You know, so I gave my life to Him at that moment, and I said, okay, here we go. I'm going to do something different I've never done before. And I just really, really started seeking God.